it's Renee's series with Inside Job Healing. So this is going to be a kind of a little bit of a different of an energy update. There's been a lot going on with Lionsgate energy. We just had that on 8/8, which is my beloved son's birthday, my power Leo. So there's been energies coming in there that are of a higher vibration. So I don't know if you've been feeling it, whether you're an empath or a starseed or a way shower or a light worker. There's just been really intense energies coming in, and they've been going on since August 3rd. That's why I woke up, on August 3rd, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to get in my car and go on a road trip. And I know that not a lot of people have the flexibility to be able to work from home, or digital entrepreneurs like myself that can work from anywhere. So I'm very blessed to have that opportunity and that privilege. And so I was able to get away. And so the energies have been flooding in since the 3rd of August. So this is a time to spend a lot of time in nature. That's why I beelined it to the beach and to be near the water. It's a time to really connect with yourself and do a lot of that introspective work. Journaling, things like that, asking yourself, like, I think there was one morning where I kept asking myself, like, what's next? So this is a very sacred time, especially like right at that 8/7/8/8 Lionsgate window. It's a special time every year, but especially this year, which is 2020, literally the year of clarity, 2020, clarity and vision. So it's really important for you to ask yourself, and invite those downloads. Another really great thing to do is to actually ask your guides to send you light codes and activations while you're sleeping, and even in your waking state. So if you're looking for some guidance, if you're looking for an upgrade, and if you're looking to up level, definitely invite that in. Ask your guides for an activation. There is so much going on. I feel like I've up leveled. I don't even feel like the same person since August 3rd, to be honest with you. And I've really needed a lot of time to process and to really meditate and to be with myself and to be with my energy field. To be honest with you, when we're having these kind of energies, and they're going to be going on until August 12th to August 13th, so there is that window. Even if you have a partner, maybe it's not the time to get intimate or make love, because if you feel like you want to safeguard your own energy field, and if there's so many things in flux and changing, so just obviously check in with yourself. I really feel like right now in the collective, we are getting hammered. I mean, like, there's just so much, higher level energy that's coming to the surface. And when that happens, all our darkness, all our density comes to the surface, right? So it's like we go from being like a lower octave or a lower frequency, because we're all energy, to when we're getting ready to up level and raise our vibration, what ends up happening is that, all this influx of light comes in. It starts to bring the density. It starts to bring the darkness to the surface. And not just on your own individual level, like what's, things that are weaknesses for you, or addictions or things like that don't serve you, that you want to drop, or relationships and toxic dynamics and things like that. It's not just that. It's actually on a collective level, all the dirt, all the secrets are really coming to the surface. They've been coming to the surface for a while in 2020, but now I feel like the lid has just like been blown off. So whether you've been listening to conspiracy theorists, which I don't even know if it's conspiracy anymore, because the Jeffrey Epstein stuff is like mainstream now. I mentioned watching the documentary Filthy Rich. Here comes Luna, my dog. Hi, baby. So I mentioned Filthy Rich with Epstein, and all of the pedophile island and all the craziness that was going on with not just like hundreds of women, but like probably 1,000. And children, right, that were accused of prostitution in the Acosta Sweetheart deal that Epstein got, but actually he was basically turned the tables on his victims. They were minors that were being solicited for massages that turned into sex. And so anyway, just all this crazy, like there's so much coming out with the child trafficking and the sex trafficking circles and the billionaires and the satanic rituals in Hollywood. There's a few documentaries that I'm interested in watching just to kind of understand what's really going on. It was like, The Fall of the Cabal and Out of the Shadows 2020. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist myself, but I'm a truth teller, and I'm a truth seeker. So I'm interested in, listening to all perspectives and then making up my own mind. So I encourage you to do the same. I encourage you to keep your eyes open. I mean, some people are talking about like secret space programs and ETs and all this stuff. So I feel like things are really coming to the surface, and especially in 2020 with a lot of people having lost their jobs or working from home or staying at home, a lot of people have that time and interest on like what's the next book I'm going to read, or what podcast I'm going to listen to, or what documentary I'm going to watch. It's not like we're going out to the bar and going out to dinner and going to happy hour. I mean, things have really shifted. So I encourage you to explore different things and see what resonates with you, but it's important not to have as a collective, not to have our head in the sand, and to really, to see what's really going on, and see what's being unearthed, all the dirt, all the collective dirt. Because currently there's, very few in power that are calling the shots. And it's not sustainable for the collective. And, I'm somebody who advocates emotional freedom and also real freedom. And so we don't want to feel like we're enslaved by a powerful few. So I just encourage you to, speak your truth, to do your research and see what resonates, right? But I definitely feel like there's this like galactic war between good and evil, light and dark right now. Like, I know that this is a mixed polarity planet, and I feel like it's an experiment, right? I always joke that this is a holographic experience, that, what's on your inside, what's internally being experienced shows up outside because we project it when we create our every now moment. That's why the work that I do with my clients is so powerful, because we shift the internal false beliefs and internal energy and internal blocks. And so when we shift that on the inside, we start giving this bio loop feedback that it's different. So if we no longer feel like we're being treated unjustly or unfairly, then the world won't show us that. Or if we no longer feel abandoned on the inside, we won't experience abandonment by our partner or our friends or our family members on the outside. So it's really, really powerful, this work. And it's really powerful to understand that you are not powerless, you are not a victim, you do not need to be controlled by the media or TV, because I feel like a lot of things are really mind control, and a lot of people, constantly give their power away, whether it's people pleasing, or, believing everything they say, the media says, or because media teaches you, what to think, not how to think, right? Or going to their doctor and saying, hey, I'm sick, can you help me figure this out? And going through all these expensive tests when their doctor is just guessing. So it's just important not to give your power away, and to be sovereign, and to really be in your, in your full power, right? And so if something doesn't make sense to you, like for example, I'll wear a mask to go to the gym or go into the store, but like some people are refusing to wear masks, so they're getting home deliveries and they're not stepping into shops or stuff like that. So just do what's right for you. There's a lot of mixed signals going on about masks previous to now they're mandatory. There's a lot of, people saying that a lot of the COVID cases are inflated and things like that. So there's just a lot of misinformation out there, and it's really hard to tell like what's truth and what's reality. So I just encourage you to feel into your heart, and whatever resonates with you resonates with you. If you're still fearful that you might catch the virus or have elderly parents or family members, then stay home. So just kind of, but I encourage you to kind of play with the edge, like just kind of hear all these different perspectives and figure out what makes sense to you, instead of just blindly following, everything that's going on in the media. So I want to talk about Trump for a second, because it's very fascinating. Like there's a lot of, I know when he first came into power, a lot of people were upset. And then now he's like gained this support among the spiritual community, to be honest, especially like I've been really listening to like Laura Eisenhower, who's the great-granddaughter of President Eisenhower, and like David Nino Rodriguez, who's this heavyweight champion who's also woke, and I've just been following them and their channel. And it's really interesting, like they've been, interviewing David Icke and all these different, people with an alternative worldview. And it's just kind of been interesting to hear that there's, and like Magenta Pixie and a lot of these women's circles in the UK, they are really like all about Trump, which is such an interesting perspective. And there was just like his White House aide just came out with a book, even though she got fired. She was just talking about how much she loves him and how he's amazing to women, and some of the spiritual people are saying he's signed so many bills into so many executive orders, giving like 35 million to like, you know, the sex trafficking and this and that to help, combat that. So it's interesting. Now we're hearing, all these good things about Trump, and that the media was trying to basically, downplay him because he was against the cabal and all these, New World Order and things like that. So it's very fascinating. I feel like we're living in this age where it's like, it's like science fiction almost, right? And so it's like, what do you believe, right? So it's important to kind of see all angles and see what resonates with you, and everyone's unique and different. And everyone has free will. And I feel like on this planet that, that right has been taken away, and there has been some sinister forces. There's been some dark forces that have taken our free will away. And there is some darkness. There's, a lot of darkness on this planet still. And as a starseed, as a light worker, as a way shower, as a truth teller, I'm here to help transmute the darkness. So I'm not afraid of the darkness. And plus I'm a Scorpio moon, so I'm ruled by Pluto, and that's the sign of like life and death and rebirth and transmutation. And so for me, I'm like, bring it on. This is what I was born to do, is to clean the earth grids, to help people transmute their energy, to be an alchemist, to help turn, lead into gold, and bring all the negative, dense energies, and to witness them and to hold them with unconditional love and transmute them into light. So just know, there's just a lot going on. I mean, I was listening to a press conference, and he was like talking about how he got pulled off stage because there was a shooter outside the White House. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with him, but it's kind of scary when you as a president are speaking and then someone's like shooting outside the White House. And then that suspect was shot and later taken to hospital. And it's interesting because I watched Lada Ducheva on YouTube. She did a whole astrological reading of Trump's chart, and it showed that he was a target for a potential assassination attempt. So again, I don't know if that shooting had anything to do with him, but it seemed quite close to comfort. So it's kind of weird that basically his astrological chart is, showing that he is in potential danger. So anyhow, whether you're a Trump supporter or not, it's interesting to look at how the narrative has shifted, and now a lot of spiritual people want him to be reelected. I thought it was kind of interesting that, a lot of people have been very worried about the whole unemployment situation, because more and more people are getting unemployed, and now it's like July 25th. July 25th is like they stopped with a $600 extra for the unemployment, and now people are in a position where you can't live off of $150, $128 a week off of unemployment. And so because the Democrats and Republicans could not agree, I just read that, Trump just circumvented them and did an executive order where I think it's like 400 total, 300 from him and 100 that he'd like the states to pay for unemployment. So that way, they felt like 600 was too much because, people didn't have an incentive to go back to work. So hopefully that'll help the economy a lot, but I just really see a huge fallout with the real estate market and the economies and things like that. So this has been a very crazy year. And I hope that you guys are staying healthy and happy and safe. And really, like I said at the beginning of the video, I think it's really important that you are taking this energy. You have till the 12th or 13th to receive the downloads, to receive the light activations, to spend time alone in nature, recharging, to check out these theories about 5G, impacting oxygen in our breathing, and then the masks and the CO2, and just kind of explore, like, I'm not saying COVID's not real. I'm just saying, like, just kind of start exploring, like, how has this affected you? What do you believe? Are you comfortable going back into the gym? I finally went to the gym this weekend, and I feel like a brand new woman, especially it was on the heels of our, radical self-acceptance module, so it was amazing. So just keep an open mind, and I love you lots, and just know that I'm here as your truth teller and giving you the pulse on the collective. All right, guys, Rena with InsideJobHealing.com.